Hey, Tim. Hi. Hi. In Lansing and Jackson Motor Speedway, I remember Dick Beebe with a very good story. Ladies and gentlemen, our flagman this afternoon, Leeds, Michigan area flagman Tim Beebe, publisher of Mark Time. There's a guy who's involved in what he does.
Trucks are tough, no doubt about it. But there is one truck out of all trucks that is not only valuable on the road, it's the most valuable down the road. And that's a Chevy full-size pickup.
Ladies and gentlemen, as is the habit at motorsports events throughout the United States, we ask you to rise for just past 3-6. We have a total of 3 entries beginning the event, and this is going to be a rather interesting exchange. Each one of the events is not number of laps. It is 15 minutes in duration. The 3 vehicles involved are Bill Grabowski from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Leonard Gell from New Berlin, Wisconsin, and Rick Rayford of Schofield, Wisconsin. Number 606 is Grabowski, the number 623 is Gell, and the number 652 is Rick Rayford. Terry Friday to the timing tower, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the race and it's beginning in the hands of our starter, Tim Beebe. Let's look to him. He'll start in just a moment, and the green flag is up, and here they come. You're going to get a preview. Leonard Gell is in the lead. Nova in third place as around the course they go. This event will be 15 minutes in length, and we perhaps will see a pass before this thing is over. Get an idea of what the vehicles will be going over the jump slide. Now they go off turn 3 of the half-mile course and onto a section of limited turns, which ought to really slow the field down as they come back across the front straightaway. Now we'll have an opportunity to see what happens at speed. Now I want you to watch the tractor tire just to the right by the Chevrolet sign. You're going to see a lot of interesting action there this afternoon. Whoa! Just bought a nose on one of the Chevrolet Novas as it came around. Now the idea is to come around and not stop and look at the loose stuff there. There's going to be some pretty wild stuff in the corners on that particular section of the course. Each particular two-wheel drive there. Vehicle fits the front side of the hill as they come down in front of the timing tower. Now back through another course in short turns, and they'll be in front of us for the second time this afternoon. Once again, driving the Chevrolet El Camino is Leonard Gell of New Berlin, Wisconsin. One minute 24 and 87 hundredths of a second for the first lap, and we have a gentleman whose engine apparently is giving notification to the valve train that things are not in good shape. We are getting a bit of either steam or oil smoke from that particular vehicle. Now, one of the interesting things is that the great equalizer is the short sections of the course, and you will notice that second and third place is being very hardly fought here as these two guys are running down the backside of the course side by side, and that white four-door has a bit of difficulty getting off the jumps and getting any distance at all. Leonard Gell in the lead, right behind him, and coming on hard is Bill Grabowski in Oshkosh. Third place vehicle is Rick Rayford of Schofield, Wisconsin. Now the interesting question is going to be, the Camino seems to be really set up for sort of doing this. The sedan is able to get close in the turn, but when it gets horsepower time, the El Camino appears to have a very, very distinct advantage as they come by us. The Nova, trying to catch the Chevelle Camino, has a tendency to be falling just a bit further behind, and the four-door, of course, behind him as well, as we begin this afternoon of racing here at the Chevrolet Off-Road Championships. Now, once again, we'll be running an entire schedule of classes. Soda Lights are up next, and by the way, right after the Soda Lights, ladies and gentlemen, a swimsuit contest for the afternoon. And my partner Tom Kestenholz will be going down, taking part in that contest, covering the event. And some of you folks will have the opportunity to perhaps be a judge of the beauties that have been assembled here today by the Adams Modeling School of Lansing. Now you'll notice, for instance, that Grabowski has backed off just a little bit. This may offer an opportunity for Rayford to reestablish himself in second place. And again, the equalizer are the short turns on the backside of the course. Now you notice, by the way, that Soda off-road racing is definitely a contact motorsport, ladies and gentlemen. Of the 2 years the afternoon. On the course, ladies and gentlemen, do have both a driver and a passenger involved. I had an opportunity to go along with a guy on a pre-runner truck at the mid-400. And let me tell you that riding as a passenger in any kind of vehicle doing this kind of stuff is an experience that you don't soon forget. Now, one of the interesting points about the Nova that really slows him up is he does not do well coming off the second and third berms on the backside of the course. El Camino is able, therefore, on the straight sections of the course, to stay well on the lead. And Grabowski's vehicle apparently has some fairly serious, perhaps terminal damage at the quick service area, and you'll notice that's where it's being done all this afternoon. Minutes into the race, 9 minutes left to go. So all Gell has to do is not make a mistake at this point, because at certain points on the course, that little Nova four-door does some fairly decent flying. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, as you see the program sellers coming through the audience this afternoon, they have a dual purpose. One is to sell programs, the other is to sell tickets to perhaps your choice of any set of Goodyear street tires that you would like to choose, shipped to you at no cost from the supplier. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits, Soda Lights. Soda Lights to the staging area, Soda Lights to the staging area. Look at this, we may have some side-by-side racing going on in the next lap. Here comes the Nova, look at this, they're side-by-side down the pit straightaway, and whoa, they're really going at it out there. Now we've got ourselves a horse race, folks. And the Nova four-door has passed the El Camino. They're really starting to go after it, and we've reached the halfway point, and these guys have decided to turn this into a horse race. Now watch them off the backside of the course, because this is where corner handling makes the significant difference. And the four-door is in the lead. The El Camino is starting to establish a berm over there, and we'll tell you about the effect those have on two-wheel drive vehicles later in the event. Now here's where the El Camino can pass, because the Nova does not do well here. Notice that the nose is very heavy on this car. The guy with the El Camino is digging his share of dirt and has just decided he's not going to rush the cadence at this point. over that Chevelle Camino at this point, and unless somebody makes a mistake, that could be the finishing order for the event. All right, we're 8:30 into the event. Now, one of the things that you'll notice, by the way, part of the course is two-wheel drive vehicles come into them too hot. They have a tendency to get up on the berm, and every once in a while, they'll go either over on their side or upside down, and it's like a turtle in a race. You get one upside down, nothing happens. Well, the character of this particular contest has changed significantly. Now the question is, can the gentleman in the Chevelle Camino start to pull it back? With Grabowski out of the race, we've got ourselves a two-horse contest here. Now watch what Sonoma does again on those back berms. Very, very nose heavy. El Camino has a lot more wheel travel than the Nova does, and that may spell the difference by the time this event is another 6 minutes older. Now you notice everybody's not rushing quite as hard as they were at the beginning of the event. The guy with the El Camino is a little tired of eating four-door dust at this point. Now watch the Chevelle Camino as he comes around this corner and hits the berm on the outside. The inside two wheels go way up in the air, and that could still trouble for the El Camino before it's over because he's got the first. We are 10 minutes into the event, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes remaining. Commanding lead, it would appear at this point. This is the last call for soda lights. Soda lights to staging immediately. Last call, soda lights to staging, please. Now, folks. And by the way, we'd like to remind everybody that in 1962, AIS Rental Corporation became the first dedicated construction equipment rental company in Michigan. For over 30 years, AIS Rental's goal has been to provide the very best low-hour machines to our customers for both short and long-term applications. Today, AIS Rentals serve the construction, environmental, and industrial markets from 6 full-service locations throughout Michigan. Their 300-unit fleet of light-duty equipment and commitment to provide emergency 24-hour 7-day service is what AIS Rentals can provide. Responsible customer service. Think rentals, think AIS. Well, at this point, as we pass the 11:48 mark in the event, it looks like the positions are going to pretty well be sorted out, but of course the race began with an entirely different order, so one doesn't know until it's over. It's 15 minutes as hard as you go, and it's sort of like they say in the opera, you know, it's not over until the fat lady sings, and at 14:59, anything can happen if you haven't established a commanding presence. Rick Rayford at Schofield, Wisconsin, in front of you now. Now, I will tell you that Rayfield is definitely slowing down. Rayford, excuse me, is definitely slowing down, so this offers an opportunity for Leonard Gell to try to catch him, and let's see if he can bring that off. Ladies and gentlemen, we have approximately we're 13 minutes into the race, ladies and gentlemen. We have approximately 2 laps left to go, and the event will be flagged at completion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as the cars come by our flagman Tim Beebe at this point, next time around we will give them a white flag as they come by the front of you, and the next lap following that, of course, the last of this particular opening occasion. Now, perhaps you can get an idea from what these particular two vehicles are doing out here, what this course is going to become as it matures throughout the afternoon. There are going to be some incredibly exciting circumstances, and I think you'll be able to see it almost anywhere on the course. That's what's so exciting about this kind of racing, is that yes, it's not a Baja 1000, but yes, it is close to a point where if you get up high in the grandstands, you can see the whole course. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to enter the last lap of this particular contest. And here comes let's see what happens now that these guys know it's now watch this. Now it's last lap time. Now the game's changing. Now it's time to get serious. And there goes the Chevelle Camino. Way high on the course. And I think, yes, Grabowski just broke a drive shaft. The rear universal joint came off Grabowski's car, and it's going to be the Chevelle Camino, the winner. Rayford's drive shaft broke, and we have a winner. And that winner, if he's running at the end, is going to be this vehicle right here. Leonard Gell in the Chevelle Camino was in the lead, was behind. What he's been able to do is what counts, and that is finish the last lap of the event. Once again, what you've seen here, two-wheel drive, four-wheel passenger vehicle, manufactured in the United States. And here comes the guy who wins it all, first event of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a